Hello and welcome back to the Private Label Masters YouTube channel. If you have money to invest and you were to have to pick one of the two, where would you put your money? Amazon FBA or real estate? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Now before we get into the topic, to introduce myself for those who are new at the channel, my name's Tim. I'm a top Amazon private label seller, so you might hear a little bit of bias in this regards on the topic. However, if you've been following the channel for any time now, you know that I actually used to be a real estate agent. In my first year, I sold 10 houses in California, and that's pretty good. Now, in this video, I'm not really gonna bash real estate, but I'm gonna tell you what are the reasons why I have decided to put the large amounts or the majority of my capital and funds into Amazon over real estate. Let's check out the sales on Amazon right now. So here it is, a little over 1 million in the past 30 days. Let's get a refresh on here so you guys know it's real. There we go. And if any of you guys are interested in learning how to sell Amazon private label products, there's a link down below to my own specialized training. So the saying is true that real estate has made more millionaires than anything. However, I will tell you though, that's looking backwards and we want to look forwards, okay? Everybody would agree that this whole Amazon revolution is fairly recent. At the end of 2019, it's expected that 50% of households in the US are going to be Prime members. They're estimating 100 million people in just the US alone that are going to be Prime members. That's 100 million people who are looking for your potential private label products and mine too. And I'm excited about that. Now, more on real estate. I do own real estate. I have invested in real estate. I have different investments that are in different areas of real estate. For example, I do hard money loans, which are usually 8 to 12% interest yearly that I get a direct deposit into my account monthly. I don't even have to think about it. So I am diversified. I don't have every 100% of my money inside of Amazon, but I have recently sold off many of those positions and got out of those investments in order to quadruple down on what I see working for me, and that's Amazon FBA. Now, what are my reasons though? I have experience in real estate. Real estate is an amazing investment and has proven always to be a very good investment if you hold it for the long term. In our video today, we're gonna go over quite a few of the different reasoning points I have. If you disagree with them, that's okay. Leave a comment down below on which ones you agree with and which ones you disagree with. And by the way, I'm gonna be giving out a free Private Label Masters course. And all you have to do to enter into the giveaway and to be eligible is you have to hit the like button and leave a comment below in regards to the topic. Now I'm gonna post a video once a week for the next 4 weeks, and you have to do that over the next 4 weeks. And then on the 4th week, I'm gonna pick a winner, okay? So reason number 1 that I've chosen to invest the large majority of my funds in Amazon over real estate, and perhaps you should too, is real estate requires a lot more money down to get started. Now, unless you qualify for an FHA loan, the large majority of lenders require 20% down on property. Now, if you have to liquidate your position in that real estate, you can't just recoup your 20%. You're gonna have to hope that that real estate appreciated a minimum of 5 to 6%. And that's because that's what the real estate commission is if you were to try to go and sell it. Now, let's look over on the Amazon FBA side in regards to the money required to get started. Now, although it's preferable to have 5,000 or more to get started in Amazon, there are many, and I know this for a fact because many of my students have been able to get started on Amazon with $3,000 or less sometimes. So that means if you're a young person and maybe you're in high school, you can have your regular job, go to school, be saving up, and by the time you graduate, you have those couple $1,000s, which is enough to get started inside of Amazon. Now, reason number 2 on why I choose Amazon FBA over real estate is the level of creativity and ingenuity that it requires. Now, some may be hesitant about this and say, you know what, I don't like the whole creative or ingenuity aspect. You know, I just want something I don't even have to think about, okay? If that's you, maybe it's best that you were to just put some money down on some real estate, hire a property management company, get your small return, and hopefully it appreciates over the long term. But I'm gonna tell you exactly why having a little bit of ingenuity or creativity can be amazing when it comes to the opportunity of Amazon FBA as opposed to real estate. Now with real estate, every single person has access to the MLS, the multiple listing system. And when someone has a house for sale, they put it up on the multiple listing system, and that means every single real estate agent and every single home buyer, when they go onto websites like Realtor.com or Redfin or Zillow, they have access to see all of the properties that are up. And then everybody is on a level playing field, right? The property comes up on the market. Let's say there's 30 people in that price range who are looking for a home, and there's a few investors also. They see it, they go, and then they put an offer on. And usually the best offer wins, or whoever has the highest down payment or something like that. And typically, if you're just getting started when it comes to investing, you're not gonna have the highest down payment. Now, maybe you're a contractor and you see little things that you could fix up here and there with some sweat equity, but the large majority of people aren't contractors. They don't work in the construction trade business. And if you're a contractor, again, maybe real estate might be a better option for you. I personally don't know how to build a home. My time that I spent in real estate, I learned all about roofs, I learned about flooring, I learned about all sorts of different things on pest inspection reports or home inspection reports, you name it. I've learned a little bit about it. However, I would not consider myself a person who could walk into a fixer-upper and say like, oh yeah, I see here. But now let's switch over to Amazon FBA and that aspect of creativity and ingenuity that the large amount of people do have within their skill set already. When you follow a proven way to look at products on the Amazon marketplace to see if they're potential, you'll see that it's actually fairly simple to put a unique spin on a product or add value in some way where you can come into a market that's already been selling for a couple years and take over the entire niche with just a little bit of creativity and ingenuity on your behalf when it comes to creating your product, whether it's a bundle, whether it's something you change on the aesthetics, whether it's something you change on the functionality. And if you know what to look for, it can be pretty easy. Whereas in construction or real estate, you may say, oh, this fixer-upper, I think, but once you start opening the walls, who knows what you're gonna find, right? So that's reason number 2, the ingenuity and creativity that Amazon allows, which that skill set is in every single one of us if you have the right training and know what to look for in a product. Reason number 3 that I choose Amazon FBA over real estate is a faster return on your investment and a higher return on your investment. I believe the average return on real estate, like a single family home, is roughly 10 to 11% on a yearly basis. This is going back a few years now. And that's relatively good, right? Over an entire year, 10 to 11% increase, that's better than anything you can get, having your money in a savings account or a CD at the bank. But remember, you only realize that gain once you sell your property. The only other way that you're actually going to get income coming in or a return on your investment is if you have enough money down, again, requiring a lot more investment up front in order to have positive cash flow on a monthly basis. And then you're going to have repairs and things like that and random things that come up that positive cash flow is going to need to go towards. So again, you only actually lock in the value of that once you sell a piece of real estate. It's similar to the stocks. If you have a dividend stock, right, you do get a monthly or an annual dividend coming in. However, you only actually lock in the profit of what the stock overall's growth has been once you sell it. If your interest rate is 6%, you need to have your property appreciate at least at 6% in order to break even. Now, how does Amazon FBA compare to this? Well, the margins that you see selling private label products on Amazon are incredible. I would say overall with my product portfolio, I get between 80 and 100% return on investment every single product I sell, okay? So this isn't over an entire year, right? This is compounded. Every single time I put a reorder for these products, more and more and more, it's 100%, 80 to 100% return on investment every single time. Now, as that's compounding, all that money coming in, okay? All that money coming in month after month after month. After 2 years, you can sell your listing or your brand or your entire Amazon account for upwards of 2.5 to 3.5 times your yearly net earnings. Now, when you compare that to the income and the return on investment in real estate, it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare. It is handfuls over handfuls of money coming in faster, and overall growth a lot more than real estate. Now, reason number 4 that I choose Amazon FBA over real estate, and why you might also, is it's easier to diversify. True diversification in real estate would require buying multiple properties. Multiple properties means a lot more money invested, okay? And buying multiple properties in the exact same location isn't true diversification. True diversification in real estate is having multiple properties in multiple different markets across the country. Now, yes, you could just call up a real estate agent in a different market and say, hey, I want to invest in real estate over here. Can you find me a good deal? But it's a lot harder to become an expert in that market. Whereas you may know your personal local market very well, but being an expert in some town in Pennsylvania, another town in Idaho, one in Florida, one in Texas, and then managing all of those, it can be quite time consuming and difficult. Now, in regards to Amazon, when it comes to the ease of diversification, think of how many products are on Amazon. Hundreds of thousands. Think of the different niches, the different categories, the different subcategories, the different price ranges. You could have a product over in pets, you could have a product over in home and kitchen, you can have a product in electronics, health and beauty, sports and outdoors. And you know what? All of those are completely different customer bases and niches. Now, of course, everybody says, hey, you know what? True diversification, I would say, is not fully selling on Amazon. However, from what I have seen, people who talk about horror stories about only having their business on Amazon, I have only heard of less than 3 who have ever had an issue with this. The large majority, if you play by the rules on Amazon, you're totally fine. In fact, you can sell the same product, right? Not only in the US marketplace, but you can do it in Canada, in Mexico, in UK, in Germany, in Spain, in India, and now in Australia, soon in the Middle East. That's one product, right? And diversified over all these different marketplaces. The ease of diversification in Amazon versus real estate is pretty apparent to me. Now, reason number 5 is market research is a lot easier on Amazon. We talked about this a little bit earlier, and most become a market expert in their local area. What are the good parts of town? What are the better schools? Which areas are being built out? All sorts of things, right? You live in the town, clear and well. Now, how long does it take you to become that much of an expert at other markets? Yes, you can call someone and hopefully they're trustworthy and hope that the things that they'll tell you are trustworthy about what's a good area, what's a good school, what's a good side of town, what are good comps in relationship to different houses that are sold, or what are other ones that are coming up for sale that are similar. Things like that, right? What the market is for buyers. Are they getting multiple offers? Are they not? And all the while that you're asking your real estate agent or whoever this realtor is on the phone, in the back of your mind, you also know they only get paid if they sell you a home or sell your home, okay? So how many of them are gonna say, you know what, our market's not that great? None of them. The large majority is going to say, this is a great market, this is a great time to buy, and these are all great prices. So the real way that you find out is by doing your own due diligence. Even going to those areas, walking them, driving, going to different properties at Friday night, Saturday night, seeing what the neighborhood's like, seeing the community, knocking on different doors around the different property, asking them, what do you like about this neighborhood? How are the neighbors? That's when you really find out about the market in real estate. Now, what about on Amazon? Market research on Amazon is tremendously easier. Now, I know this from personal experience because I sell products in different niches that I knew nothing about. But once I found that they fit the criteria of what a good product was, whether it's the BSR, whether it's the time on the market, average reviews, what the reviews say, market depth, all of that type of information, which I talk about in my training, it's relatively easy to get a very good idea of the market. Okay? And then you can talk to suppliers directly. In fact, I can find out everything about a market, going from never seeing the market to seeing it on Amazon, vetting it, understanding everything that's out there for that product, talking to 10 to 15 suppliers and finding out everything about the product and more information in that regards. I can do that in sometimes just a few days. Yes, it's kind of like growing a skill, but In a matter of 2 to 3 days, I can have all that information and know and become an expert on that niche. So market research, to me, Amazon is the clear winner. With real estate, you just always have in the back of your head, like, is this real estate agent, I know he sounds trustworthy, he's got good reviews, but is he telling me the real deal? The real deal should mean, though, that I need to go fly there to this town, I need to go spend some time there, walk it, ask the neighbors. And honestly, you can't do that in just a couple of days like you can with Amazon. All right, reason number 6 that I choose Amazon FBA over real estate when it comes to investing my money is the accessibility of customers. We touched on earlier that by the end of this year, there are going to be over 100 million customers in the United States with Prime memberships. That means 100 million different possible people who are interested in your or my product. Now, if you have a home for sale or you want to sell one or buy one, your market typically is just the few buyers that want to purchase in that town or that area. All right. So how many people is that? Is that 50? Is that 100? Most properties don't get 50 or 100 offers. So how many is it that are going to be looking at your house or property and want to buy it? Or when you go to sell it? Whereas when you put up one product, let's say it's in pets. How many people have pets in the United States? Hundreds of thousands of people have pets. And how many of those hundreds of thousands have Prime memberships and shop on Amazon? At least 50% probably. So that is your market, right? It's not just people who are like, you know what, in this part of Sonoma, California, I'm looking for a place to buy or an investment. No, you got people in New York, you got people in Maine, you got people in New Hampshire, you got people in Oregon, Washington, all looking at your one pet product because they're all pet owners. All right, so the accessibility of the customer base, it's far reaching and compared to real estate. Reason number 7, all right, this is a quick one, is you don't need to have good credit to get started on Amazon, okay? Like I talked to you about earlier, if you just have a regular job and you save up the cash to get started, hey, you can get started right on Amazon. However, if you have had something happen on your credit report or you don't have credit, you either got to get a co-signer or you got to take quite a few years to clean up your credit report in order for a bank to give you a loan on a property, okay? So the barrier to entry is a little easier. Now, reason number 8, there is less volatility in the product marketplace as opposed to the real estate marketplace. Now, think about what happened in 2012, and it's happened many times because real estate is a cyclical market. It goes up, it drops. It goes up, it drops. Overall, it goes up over time, kind of like most stocks. However, real estate, as you saw in 2012, where prices nationwide, all right, countrywide, dropped upwards of 50%. Everything, condos, multi-unit, commercial, single-family dwellings, 50% drops. Now, do you think the time will ever come when all products on Amazon face a 50% drop? I don't think I'll ever see that. So if you're diversified, right, in different niches and different types of marketplaces, perhaps even in different countries with Amazon, the likelihood of your entire portfolio having a 50% drop is not likely at all. Now, our final reason why I chose and choose continually, right, Amazon FBA over real estate is because real estate, it's always going to be here. And yeah, that's a good thing in a sense, but real estate doesn't make quick moves at all, right? It's like a turtle that just keeps going slow and steady. And that's great. You know what? And in the future, I'm probably going to get more real estate for myself to invest in. However, the opportunity right now with Amazon is crazy. If someone was to tell you you could invest in Apple or Google or Facebook right at the bottom levels, would you? You would say absolutely. Now, if somebody were to tell you just a few years ago that there's a company that's going to be online that's going to take more than 50% of all online sales and whose CEO himself is building out the best tools and software to help you then take advantage of all those sales, of 50% of online sales worldwide, would you be interested in that? You would say, whoa, that is crazy. Now, what if he said, you can actually sell on my platform? I'm going to take 50% of all the sales away from everybody else. I'm going to bring you hundreds of thousands, 100 million plus customers to potentially your product listing. And if you get it up there, that's all you have to do. Have a nice product, a nice offering, get it in front of the people, and I'll do the rest. Would you jump at that opportunity? I know I would, and that's why I have, and that's why I continue to quadruple down on Amazon. I know this may have been a little controversial, and you probably may have disagreed with a few of my points, or maybe you have a few points of your own of why Amazon would be a better investment right now for you than real estate. Now, I know everyone's circumstances are different. Some people have that real entrepreneurial spirit, have that fire within them. That's how I am, all right? I love that aspect of every day, something changing, something new, staying ahead of everybody else, bringing a product to market, and it can potentially make $5,000 to $10,000 in their first month. Whereas real estate, it has another appeal. When you think of people who own a lot of real estate, you're like, oh, that person's like a mogul, right? They have property, they own real estate. But there's an aspect of real estate that's a little boring to me, and it doesn't really have that entrepreneurial fire to it. Now, if you're doing some crazy, condo conversions or something, even that is just a slow process. Permits, contractors, all this stuff, putting it up, open houses, and then you finally get your payday. Now, if you're looking for an investment where you probably don't have to think about anything and you have a bunch of money and you just put it all down in real estate and you have positive cash flow and then you go off, sail the world, hey, that's amazing too. But remember that products on Amazon can get to that point too where they're very passive. Now, I would never say that Amazon is passive income because it does require quite a bit of work and some upkeep. However, remember, the skills that are required to keep your Amazon business running are skills that you can delegate out after you have experience with them. That's what I've done with my business. That's why I can leave for 2 weeks and not even look at my Amazon business and it'll run just fine. Just the same as that gentleman who owns his 5 properties and he gets that, monthly rent checks coming in. That's how I have set my Amazon account up, and that's how you can set yours up too, okay? So again, I appreciate you guys listening to this video. I know it's a little bit longer. I'm gonna be coming out with quite a few more videos coming up. Remember, if you like, comment, and subscribe to this and the next 4 videos, then I'm gonna give out a free course on that 4th video, okay? Did you agree with the points I had? Do you disagree? Do you have a love for real estate? Do you have a love for Amazon FBA? Which one do you, if you had the money, would you put your money into? Which one are you doing right now? Write down in the comment section below, and again, I'll see you guys in the next video.